Hey science classes, and welcome to another bonus lesson with LEGO Niwame. This will serve as today's introduction as well as some notes on perfection, which is kind of one of the perfection, and time management, which is a couple of the things I've been hearing a lot of struggles about. As you can see, I am out here in the back lawn and sitting by a big pile of grass. Now, I don't know how many of you do or don't have back lawns, not a big deal. But I can tell you, live version of Mr. Niwame likes for the lawn to look just so. Not with these big piles of grass, not with weeds all over the place. And currently, yeah, not quite so perfect. So that comes into the time management factor. Here is one of the biggest constraints you have in this science class: time. You're only going to have so much time to do our science activities, to do our labs, to do our lab reports, to do our quizzes and diagnostics. And so you have to try to find a way to fit things into that time. This is where the struggle comes with perfection. Take, for example, the slow pretest. A lot of people struggled a lot with how they drew the roller coaster because they're trying to make it just so, just the type of perfect that they were going for. Quite honestly, sometimes time just doesn't allow us to go ahead and have things as perfect as we'd like. But at the end of the day, things are going to be fine. Take this lawn, for example. Next weekend, when Mr. Niwame has a little more time, it's going to look really nice. He's going to mow it up to look nice. It's not going to be raining all week, and so it won't get out of control. Things we're fighting against this week between timing and the weather, and so the lawn doesn't look as nice as it should, but it still got done. It's still cut. It'll keep wildlife out of the lawn and out of Mrs. Niwame's garden. And all of those things are good. So at the end of the day, the struggle with the time, things still came out okay, even though it wasn't 100% perfect. And we have to make sure that we can go ahead and do things, even if they're not 100% the perfect way that we want them to, if they can achieve the goal that we're going for. The goal here was for the lawn to actually be short enough that we could keep the wildlife out of the lawn, that it wouldn't start to look like a jungle. And that goal was achieved. Does the lawn look as nice as it should? No. But did we actually reach the goal that we had to keep animals out of the lawn? Yes. So that brings us to what we're doing this week. Today we're going to be doing a diagnostic for this unit coming up, anticipatory set it's sometimes called, for this unit coming up on types of energy. You've already touched on this a little bit, looking at some potential energy and kinetic energy. So we're going to be taking a look at just kind of an activity to review the questions. The activity is written directly from the test for this unit, which is going to be coming up 2 weeks from now. So it's going to be not this Friday, but next Friday. That's when the test is planned for. Today's activity looks at the same questions as it will be on the test to try to see where we currently stand. You'll see that there's always an option of an answer of, I don't know this, add it to my note-taking skills. The reason we're doing this is to try to build the opportunity for you to establish how you actually want to go through this unit, what things you need to learn, and what you need to work on with your group, with your lab tables. Over the next few days, we're going to be doing a couple of labs. We're going to have one on potential and kinetic energy, looking at the different types and how they interact with each other. That should be what we're doing tomorrow into Wednesday. Then taking some notes for a couple days on Thursday, Friday, and then doing another lab next week where we're actually going to be using some Matchbox / Hot Wheels cars, depends on which specific brand name, building some ramps and kind of seeing the potential and kinetic energy into those. That'll help you better understand that roller coaster question from last week's slow pretest, and we'll get into more details about that as well as we're actually understanding the different types of energy, in particular kinetic and potential. So those are the primary things that we're working on through this unit, which, as you heard, is going to be 2 weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the live version of Mr. Niwame now. Thank you for letting me guest in again. And so then you guys will have a chance to work on today's activity and figure out what it is you need to focus on in the energy unit and what things you might already have those skills in. Thanks so much. LEGO Niwame out.